Hello and welcome to News at Noon. I'm Chris Nelson. The couple accused of stabbing, beating, and slashing the throat of 80-year-old Nancy Daly from Royal Oak was sentenced in court this morning. Reporter John Turk was at Oakland County Circuit Court.
Alan Wood, who did not show any remorse, was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the murder of Nancy Daly. She was brutally stabbed and slashed in the neck. Family members read their statements, and you could see the emotion in the courtroom. But Wood did not show any remorse. He seemed very arrogant, and I quote, he said during the sentencing, he said, "Get on with your sentence and stop preaching," to Judge Colleen O'Brien. Tanya Watson was also sentenced to 23 to 80 years in prison. However, she seemed to be sorry for what she had done in connection to that murder.
And John Turk spoke with family members of the victim this morning on their reactions to the sentencing.
Are you happy it's over?
Yeah, I'm glad it's over. I feel that there's been justice served here today, that he will never see another Robin of Spring. I think that Tanya Watson, I think there's hope for that young lady, that she will turn her life around and start making good decisions. She seemed truly sorry, and obviously he's not sorry yet.
It has been quite a week for cosmic visitors, with an asteroid headed towards Earth the size of an Olympic swimming pool to a meteorite exploding over Russia, injuring 500 people. Reporter Charlie Crum is here to talk about these events. Charlie, what's going on later today?
Well, a 150-foot asteroid will fly by Earth this afternoon at roughly 17,150 miles away. That's well within the 22,000-mile distance of many of our communications satellites, although scientists don't expect them to be affected. The asteroid is named Asteroid 2012 DA14, and it'll be at its closest point to Earth roughly 2:25 p.m. Eastern Time. But don't expect any great viewing opportunities in the United States. Even with binoculars and telescopes, the best viewing locations are in Asia, Australia, and Eastern Europe. And don't expect the satellite to stick around very long. It's whizzing by at 17,400 miles an hour. While asteroids striking the planet are rare, meteor strikes on the Earth are fairly common. Meteors are bits of rock that break off asteroids or comets and enter the Earth's atmosphere. And in a cosmic coincidence, one of them exploded in the atmosphere early Friday over central Russia, causing a shock wave that blew out windows and injured hundreds of people.
All right, thank you, Charlie. And Oakland County Executive L. Brooks Patterson says he agrees with comments made by Oakland County Circuit Court Judge Rayleigh Chabot, where she referred to emergency financial manager of Pontiac, Lou Schimmel, as appearing to run a dictatorship.
Damn right he's a dictator. That's why emergency managers are so feared by the entrenched unions. They've had their way for so long. In comes an emergency manager who's beholden to nobody except the taxpayers. He's going to hack and whack and put the revenues back in line with the expenses. And so that's what Lou did in Pontiac, and he's about to file his final report and move on, because Pontiac is back operating now within its means. And I think that's living proof that the emergency manager works.
A nightmarish cruise has finally ended for passengers aboard the Carnival cruise ship, the Triumph. The ship was stranded at sea for 5 days after a fire broke out in the engine room, disabling the ship's propulsion. This also caused sewage backups, limited power, and a scarce amount of food throughout the ship. The Associated Press spoke with passengers when they finally made it to shore.
Yes, I'm glad I'm on land. I'm glad I have toilets. The toilet situation was pretty bad. They told us to go in showers. The boat started tilting, so you couldn't really do that anymore because of the drain. So they told us to go in sinks, and they handed out bags for us.
Land has never felt so great. But we are incredibly grateful for a crew that served us in such unselfish ways, doing things that are unthinkable, and they were just so kind-hearted and with smiles the entire time.
And hopefully cruises like that aren't going on in your weekend plans. However, Gary Graff will tell you what is going on locally. That's lots of fun.
Oakland University's Meadowbrook Theater is showing Next to Normal, the Pulitzer Prize-winning musical about a suburban household in crisis, through March 10th. Visit mbttheater.com for details. Also on the theater front this weekend, Fela returns to Detroit's Music Hall Center with Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child in the cast through Sunday. MusicHall.org has all the information. And we heard through the grapevine that the new version of Zeola Gay's My Brother Marvin will be at Detroit's Fisher Theater through Sunday, too. DetroitTouringCo.com will tell you all about it. The 16th annual Sphinx competition for young Black and Latino classical musicians takes place at 2 p.m. Sunday at Orchestra Hall in Detroit. DSO.org has the information on that. And at the movies, the first adaptation of the Beautiful Creatures novels captures teenage supernatural love in full bloom. A Good Day to Die Hard brings Bruce Willis's John McClane back to blow things up for a fifth time. And the metro area's AMC theaters begin their 7th annual Best Picture Oscar marathons on Saturday. AMCtheaters.com has all the details about the latter.
On to baseball. Sports columnist Pat Caputo weighs in on the pros and cons of trading Tigers pitcher Rick Porcello in today's video blog.
The Tigers have 6 pitchers for 5 spots in the starting rotation. And I think that it's led to a thought from a lot of fans that the Tigers need to trade Rick Porcello, the more expensive of their 5th starters, in the competition with Drew Smiley, for a relief pitcher as soon as possible. And look, that may very well happen. I don't know. I do know this, Rick Porcello has a high upside. The Tigers better be careful when they trade him because it could come back to haunt them. Yeah, they're trying to win now. It might be wise to do it, but they better make sure if they get somebody, it's got to be somebody that contributes to a possible World Series title. Otherwise, it could be a disaster. And this is what I would do if I were the Tigers. I'd wait. I'd wait and see what the season presents. You know, what is their closer situation going to be like? Will it be a real problem? I'd hold on to pieces like Porcello or Castellanos, one of their top prospects, and wait to see what the season presents. Be patient and then try to make a deal because, let's face it, the biggest issues with the Tigers were resolved by in-season trades the last couple of years, getting Delman Young in 2011 and Doug Fister the same year. And then last year with the trade for Omar Infante and Anibal Sanchez. Those were the deals that put the Tigers over the top. So they can be patient. They can wait. They can see what the season presents, then strike.
And that's our newscast for today. Join us again on Monday at theoaklandpress.com. I'm Chris Nelson for News at Noon. Have a great weekend.